see here. We got Joy in the building. What's going on, Delmar? What's up, Randy? What up, Sunshine? We got Albert in the house. What's up, Warrior Spirit? Let me go ahead and get this popping. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on, fam? Let's see here. Mike will be joining us in just a moment. Let me see here. Cool, cool, cool. All right, what's going on, y'all? Roll. What's up, Mandal? Got my bro in the building. What's up, Andy? We got Shauna in the building. We got my bro, Mr. Mike Sotero, jumping in with us. Let's go, let's go, let's go. All right, what's going on, Lynette? All right. And we're going to make Mike co-host. There it is there. Boom, boom, boom. We got action. Yo, yo, yo. We got Mike in the building. What's going on, Wilson? What's going on, Julian? I see you, fam. All right, I'm going to go ahead and jump right in. We got my bro in the building with us. What's going on, Andy? All right, all right. They said nice NFT you bought the other day, Mike.
Yeah, you know, every man needs a best friend. Got a little dog, you know?
What, you got a kennel club?
Yeah.
Oh, lit.
Yeah, they went to the zone, and Maurice approved. And it's
yeah. Well, if it's in the area, then it's game time.
Yeah, there's less of those than mutants. So there's 18,000 bored apes, and there's only 9,000 dogs.
Oh, so. Yeah, that's definitely supply and demand all day.
Come on.
Let's see. What's going on? Stay consistent. What's going on, Chop? All right, let me go ahead and dive right in. So, quick refresh of oldcoingecko.com. We got Bitcoin taking a bit of a dip this weekend. We got down to the 26,000. It was almost like 25-ish. We'll get into it a little bit. I mean, we saw a little bit of a pump, but we're still consolidating at this level. I still think we got a little bit more selling side to go at the moment. We got Ethereum right now at around 1,600. Tether just below $1. BNB still hanging around that 218, 220-ish level. XRP still at the 50-cent level at 52 cents. Look at some of the top performers for the last 24 hours. Whenever we see Curve having a bit of a jump, that tells me something. Because if you don't know what Curve is like the hub for stable coins, right? And right now, I don't know if you've noticed this, and maybe you have, maybe you haven't. Some of you guys are newer. Stable coins are like the bee's knees right now for the traditional finance system. They are loving this right now. And what I realized is, and I've been doing a bit of research this weekend on this stuff, what I realized is it's not just in America. Like all over the globe right now, they're going crazy for stable coins. Like they're not excited about the asset side of things, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, all that kind of stuff. It's not getting people amped up. But when it comes to stable coins, they are going crazy. They're cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs when it comes to stable coins right now. Like the traditional financial system, banks, hedge funds, private investors, they like stable coins. Now, I couldn't understand for the life of me why the stable coin thing was so hype. I'm like, I mean, you know, you put your money in it and it's because it's a direct line. It's a direct line to the consumer. Like you think about credit cards, you think about debit cards, you think about just in general, banks in general, right? Like banks overall lose money. And I'm not saying that like, oh, you know, every now and then they have a bad year. Nah, dog. Like they are very rarely profitable. Like ever. So overall, they lose money in fees. They lose a ton of money in just loss, like theft. Oh, like theft is like a big problem for banks. Like every day they're losing like millions. It's not even talked about anymore. It's just like this unwritten thing nobody talks about, but it happens. So with stable coins being something that they could adopt and implement, it's a direct line to the customer. When you have a direct line, there's not a lot of middlemen and women and situations to come in, and the theft can start to happen. Right? So for them, they're like, oh, yeah, stable coins. We love stable coin. Now, the good and the bad about that, which it's kind of funny that Curve is here because I was going to segue into this, but Curve is number one. The good and the bad of that is it shows adoption. Off the gate, it shows adoption, right? Like decentralized finance will have so many on ramps, it's not even funny. But you're looking at the control that they're looking for. That's the biggest issue. It's just the control. Like, people are excited about PayPal stablecoin. If you read the terms of service with that thing, it's like they can do whatever they want to do on that platform, and you can't say nothing, do nothing, complain about nothing. They have all the power, and for us, that's not something we like to participate in. So usually, typically, most of the time, all the time, we're looking for stuff that has decentralized checks and balances. Right. This is why we like DAOs. You can come in and have governance, and you can vote and decide what you want to the coin or the actual team or the product itself to actually implement. Right. So you don't get that when you're participating with like PayPal. They're just not going to give you a, hey, come in and tell us what you'd like us to. They not that ain't happening. Get over there. Don't hold your breath. All right. It's not a good look. All right. So being that Curve is number one today, it does say a lot. It does say a lot. And I think we're going to continue to see Curve jump in the next, months leading into the bull run, actually, because Curve is going to get a lot more attention because people are going to be swapping stable coins into other networks and things of that nature. And then you got Roll Bitcoin, XDC, which is a competitor. I'm doing the quote fingers, competitor to Ripple. And then we got Kronos, all right, which is just crypto.com. ApeCoin right now looking good. Dot holding right now at really nice levels. I know Mike's probably been watching Dot like crazy, so definitely liking what I'm seeing from there. And then next thing you know, you got a lot of other projects kind of just hanging out 2%, 1%, so nothing too wild for the most part. But when we get over here to the charts, I was looking at the dollar index, and yeah, let me go to the lower time frame so you guys can really see what I'm talking about here. This is one of the things that I wanted to talk to you guys about. And we talked about it. And then as we, seen it progress on that Friday leading into the weekend, I kept saying when we see the dollar break our trend line, right, our trajectory, and then look to hold above it, and then we get to the area and all of a sudden we see a nice engulfing candle breaking into the area. Then we start the week off and we see another day gapping above, and now we're just testing levels. This is a sign that there is a ton of demand for the US dollar right now. Ton of demand. And I say that because a lot of other economies are having issues. Japan right now is sort of slowing down. China right now is going through it with the Evergrande situation, whatever way you want to pronounce it. It's a ton of things happening on that area. People are getting nervous about this BRICS thing. It looks like BRICS is supposed to be upgrading, like they're having all these great things going on. But in the background, there's a ton of dissension. A lot of nations are leaving. Some of the initial nations that were in the beginning are leaving. I think India is like already out. Like Russia's trying to force India's hand right now to do some stuff. So there's a ton of things that are shifting right now, but I'm noticing people are starting to wake back up to the dollar being what it is. And they're going to start to lean back into that. And with the dollars jumping, we're going to start seeing other assets start to take a little bit of a dip. And we talked about what was going on with the VIX right now. The VIX has spiked. So I want to see how this plays out, if we're going to continue to see another run, if we're just seeing this nice, trending momentum, if we're going to keep rising up with higher lows and higher highs. Volatility index goes a long way into giving us a good idea of what we should be aiming at and how we should be taking advantage of these different areas. I was also looking at gold right now. Gold right now is obviously high, low, lower high, lower low, potentially lining up. Now, what I noticed as well with this is the areas that we expected to see hold for gold are not holding, obviously, right? But pay attention to how this is all moving right now. We had this area that we wanted to see gold hold at. We've broken below it. Any pullback up from here, right? Even though we're back above the level and we're trying to hold here, any pullback up from here may result in another sale. So I want to be very mindful of what's happening with gold, because if gold is showing selling pressure, I want to know what areas are we seeing gold weakness, because gold is a great barometer as well for where the market may want to look to turn around. And when I do this in front of you guys with this high point to low point, and we get this 50% 618, we look left. You guys can probably see what I'm seeing already. Bit of a drop, base, drop, right inside that same vicinity here, right? Nice engulfing candle waiting here. So it's probably some selling pressure at this level, more than likely waiting to be filled with sell orders. So we're going to see how that plays out. So keep an eye out for gold moving forward. And like I said, Bitcoin at the moment right now is just holding. We're just in a nice holding pattern. I'm not too bothered by anything I'm seeing right now, because Bitcoin, and I said this like months ago, has been one of the best barometers for all markets. Like, stocks were just running crazy. Gold had a whole bunch of emotion attached to it because of what was going on with the Fed and the dollar. But Bitcoin was the most tame. It took us forever to finally get a relief rally. Like we were watching this thing free fall for like a year, and it finally gave us a relief rally. Everybody was like, "And the bull market is here." No, no, it's not what I said. All right, so the relief rally was great, but now that we're seeing some more, normalcy kind of come back in, and things are starting to kind of like realign and get back into some real good energy. Like I'm loving what I'm seeing from this, because now if we hold here and we see another move down into the 20,000, I don't know if we're going to get 19, but I want you guys just to look left. All right. And I'm going to do this with you so you can see what I'm saying, because I'm not going to just point it out and say, here's the rally base rally. Because I did this before. People were looking at me crazy. Like, Kurt, I don't know what you're talking about. You did that way too fast. So notice right here, this area. Okay. Let's make this purple so you can see what I'm talking about. This area here is giving us a ton of data. I'm going to remove this fib. All right, I'm going to remove all this extra stuff here, all this extra stuff here, and we're going to just get rid of that for now. Pay attention to the purple area, okay? Price rallied, paused for a moment, and price left fast. We came back, retested off of the area, and we left fast. Now we're down here retesting this same area, right, for fib's sake, right, with low point to high point, which is our green box here, and we're spending too much time at this area. There is not an infinite amount of buy orders here, all right? And just below it, we've already tested it. So there's not an infinite amount of buy orders here. So we may get down into this area around 24K, and we may hold. If we don't see a rally immediately from this area, it could be very problematic. Now, if we do get a rally and we only come back to retest around the 26K and we retrace back down, 20K is in the cards, fam. There's no other way around it. Like, there's not an infinite amount of buy orders. There's not a ton of on ramps for more money to flow in right now. I showed you guys it's easy for the money to leave, but it's hard for the money to stay. All right, or to get money back in, should I say? Staying is fine. We were consolidating at around 1.2 trillion for like 7 months basically, and now all of a sudden we're seeing the market start to leave. We saw 200 billion leave, or 100 billion now, because we're getting back closer to that 1.1. So I'm just saying, guys, this is not the time to get, super risky with your plays. Stay with the tried and true get in, get out strategy right now. Dollar cost averaging is still beautiful, right? But if you guys are trading in on the leverage side and you're trying to just hold these bad boys for dear life, like, this is not the time for that. You want to be able to get in, get out. This is one of the reasons why I keep screaming futures is such a beautiful proposition. You guys have no idea how blessed you are to have futures right now at this point in history, right? It's funny how like God aligns things at the perfect time when it needs to happen. Like, we could have had futures years ago and we got it. I feel like Step Brothers, we got it when we're 40, right? But you get to a place where it happens when it was supposed to happen, right? And some of you guys aren't taking advantage of it. Some of you guys are taking full advantage of it. And I'm so thankful and proud of you guys for taking full advantage of the future sessions. Like, we got one later on today, 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So just saying, family, like, don't miss out on an opportunity like this, because when I talk to you guys about seeing these market movements, price consolidating, bouncing back and forth, these are the times you're going to be grateful and thankful that you were able to get on that future session and get those quick in and out movements, And I'm talking about taking profit in futures is going to start to develop a different type of habit for you in your other trading, right? In your portfolio trading, in your leverage trading, even some of your positional trades that you hold for maybe a few months and down the line, right? But you want to get into that mind frame of consistently being in that mind frame of, I am a professional trade closer, all right? Yes, you take positions. Next thing you do, you're trying to get out. You're not trying to hold these things for dear life. I keep telling you guys, these coins ain't loyal, all right? You are here to get the bag and then dip. That is the name of the game. But right now, we're not going to have an infinite amount of buy orders. If we don't see a spike in price and we come out and we take these highs out around 30, we're going to see it. And if we get back down into these levels, guys, if price makes another major dip and we get into the 25s and the 24s, once we break lower than this, there isn't a lot of support. There isn't a lot of demand in between these areas until we get down here into those low 20s. So I just want you guys to be mindful of that and not wigging out when you see it, but taking full advantage of it. And once again, A sell in crypto is not the death of Bitcoin. Bitcoin's not broken. It's not, nothing happened to the blockchain. Nothing's wrong with the technology. The supply is still the supply. It still has demand attached to it. There just isn't a ton of on-ramps for institutional players, which is one. Two, Fed right now is still potentially going to raise interest rates, so it's not attractive for people to come in and take out loans. And three, we just don't have clear-cut regulation. That's where we're at right now. It's just nothing that Bitcoin's doing wrong. It's just the environment that we're currently in isn't very clear for when the next big injection of cash is going to come in, and we're going to start seeing that big jump. We all know it's more than likely not going to be until next year, but right now is the time to start being mindful of where you are and how to capitalize on where you are. So that way when next year and we get potentially closer to that next big bull run and halving stage, you are prepared to take advantage of it with all the capital that you've accumulated during these months leading up. All right, so hopefully that makes sense. If it's clicking for some of you guys, drop a 333 in the chat. I just want to make sure we're all on the same page, because Bitcoin and crypto is not as simple as just, okay, I bought a bunch of coins and now I'm going to cross my fingers and toes and hope everything goes to the moon. Like, stop coming in here with that thought process. I need you guys to be much more strategical and tactical in your thinking and in your actions. Because this is, some people got this weird YouTube fallacy that you're going to come in here and just like dump your paycheck into blockchain technology and forget about it. I'm like, dog, who told you this? Why do you keep thinking that? Like, that's not how this works. Not how any of this works. All right. Learning about this stuff, paying attention to where the money's coming from, learning how this stuff flows starts to really resonate. And after that, now you're off to the races, right? Strategic in the thinking, tactical in the action. Goes a very long way, family. That's all I'm saying. I just want you guys to be on the right page, because I get expectations when you're new in the crypto. You see a big jump. You saw the relief rally, and everybody's got stories and testimonies of, I bought it down here, and I got some right there, and I got my first one hit. I get it. I get it. And now you see the market pulling back, and you're like, oh, I missed it. Bitcoin's dead again. No, Linda, listen, it's not what's happening. All right, we're just in a pullback. I think we're going to see a little bit more of a pullback, and then from there we'll take advantage of that. But yeah, I think it's just early. It's way too early to keep trying to force Bitcoin to jump out the gym and get into the next big, $40,000, $50,000 territory, and think that we're all just going to be sunshine and rainbows when every other asset class has to deal with what's going on. Like, and Bitcoin is a global thing. It's not just in America. So you're thinking about every nation participating with this is dealing with the same stuff, if not worse. All right, so you got to be mindful of it. Like, I get, we look at the stock market and you see stuff like the S&P running crazy to the upside, and then we see a bit of a pullback now, and everybody's thinking, oh my gosh, how do we play this? Oh my gosh, what do I do? And I keep looking at this thinking the same thing. It was just over exacerbated, right? Price pulled back, bounced off of a zone. We thought we would see some potential buying pressure from this area here. Sure enough, buyers showed up, and now we're looking at something similar, high point down to this low point here, and I want to see how it plays out moving forward. Are we going to come up and test 50% and see another major move back down? How does it all line up? And what do we see? There's already a bit of a zone right here where we saw major selling pressure right at this zone. Yeah, we came up and retested it here. We may not even come back up to 50. We may see another major low and price break structure, and we got a BOS, and all of a sudden we're off to the races watching pullback and drop off, and this is S&P pretty much is made of mostly of tech stocks. This kind of gives us a little bit of a heads up of how Bitcoin moves in comparison to the stock market, because they still consider Bitcoin a tech stock. It's like a weird thing. I get it's like a combination of finance and tech, so they kind of just bundle it up and they try to treat it like a tech stock. That's why I watch the S&P so much, because it gives me a good idea of what the thought process and the narrative may play out as we see the S&P. But it was just way too emotional. This run up was way too emotional, and now we're gonna probably see another emotional move down more than likely. But yeah, that's my spiel on this whole setup we're seeing right now. And I know there's tons of news right now, pretty much like building a narrative as well. But I definitely want that. So Mike, how's your day going, bro? How you feeling out here, man? I know we got the MetaMask Mike in the building. Everything good with you, man? You feeling good? Looking good?
Yeah, dude, it just keeps raining. But
I was about to ask you how that Florida weather treating you.
there's like a hurricane going to like northern Florida, but I'm going to Europe this week, so peace, hurricane. So all good. But no, I agree with you. I think DCAing is is definitely the season. I think if we listen to what Jerome Powell said on Friday, there's definitely some uncertainty, right? He's talking about inflation continuing to go up. I don't think they have a plan to even stop inflation, and even if they keep raising rates, I still don't think that. I think inflation is going to be here for the next couple of years, and it's going to be bad for a lot of people, and that's why people are resorting to credit cards. People are resorting to taking out loans and doing all this scam. Right now, the hottest thing in the world is I see all this scam funding going on.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, well, not trading funding, we'll give you 50 grand, you can do whatever you want with it type funding, like PPP loans and stuff like that. And that there was a real estate agent in Miami who took all those those loans during the pandemic, and she bought a Wraith, she bought a G-Wagon, and now she's in prison for the next 15 years.
Jeez.
There's a lot of people like that, so be very aware of who you're following as well. It's a complete side note. So going into this last week, what do we have? We have NFP coming up on Friday, first of the month. We have preliminary GDP, job openings, and I think that's what the market is setting up. And I'll go to the charts here in a second. Now, some good news is today Hong Kong officially launched its first retail trading exchange, basically called Hashkey, and this is something we didn't see in the last bull market, as Kurt has explained to you guys before. This is going to allow people in Hong Kong, which is one of the craziest regulated places in the world, to now buy crypto from a retail perspective. This is cool. It's cool to see. I know Kurt was mentioning PayPal, and yeah, nobody in DeFi is going to use PayPal stablecoin. Now, if they start offering 15% yield, they're going to attract retail and they're going to get people in there.
Oh yeah.
Wouldn't be surprised if they started, yield farming PayPal and Bitcoin, or Bitcoin and ETH, and try to get some money in there. Maybe do a 6 to 12 month hold. So watch that. But yeah, really nobody really cares about this. And that's obviously, back in the day, this might have moved the market. 2023, nobody really cares.
They've already, it's like they launched, I feel like they launched it too late. There's so many of the weak hands already gone, and most of the people that are still in crypto are knowledgeable. So it just, like you said, it's not going to move the needle for somebody who knows this stuff. Now, if it was if they'd launched this back in the Dogecoin days, and everybody was going crazy and had no idea what was going on and thought it was just oh my gosh, it's the next big thing. Yeah, they could have trapped a lot of people on the wrong side of stuff, but now it's just that they waited too late. There's just not enough ignorance, should I say. I mean, there's still some people that just try to get over, but there's not enough ignorant people still in the market that are going to fall for that stuff. Yeah,
no, you said it before. This money is still the same. So it's the same people, buying, and that's why NFTs have had an interesting run to the downside, because it's, you're selling your NFTs to your friend. You would list your NFT for sale on Twitter, basically, and say, hey, I'm selling this, and then somebody else 2 hours later would purchase it, post a picture, and it would be your NFT. So it's just money moving from people to people, which is dangerous if there's not enough demand.
Closed ecosystem, and the fees eat you up.
Yeah, no, fact. I mean, OpenSea is probably going to be RIP in the next 90 days. And that's why we actually did see a little spike. If you guys were paying attention, this is definitely a super low cap project at this point, but LooksRare did hit 3 cents and is now at 6. So let's see what it does. Super low cap market cap project. NFTs have to come back for this to have even a chance. I'm not telling you to go get this at all right now. Just stating that I know people have looked into LooksRare, and I think it's a cool project. Tokenomics aren't bad, but this is extremely risky right now at $34 million market cap. So yeah, USDC, a lot of money has left USDC. A lot of money has flowed into Tether. And this is actually a good point that this article makes here, where it talks about how, USDC is really used as dry powder in DeFi, and people use Tether to really do a lot of collateral to take out loans against Tether. There's more platforms in DeFi to take out loans against Tether than there is USDC. And Tether pays a little bit more, or excuse me, USDC pays a little bit more interest. Yeah. So people are kind of a little sketchy of that. And also now Circle right? Company that was created or funded really by JP Morgan is now officially stakeholders in the whole thing, right? Which we all saw the writing on the wall like 2 years ago. And then you have like Coinbase, right? Which is Coinbase goes beyond the crypto exchange, just acquired a minority stake in Circle. So now you just have like this this pool of everybody just all working together here.
It's like what you said. They're just selling stuff to their friends at this point.
Yeah.
Like everybody's like, hey, I'll take your NFT. I'll take some of your company. I'll take a little bit of your share. Like,
This is a pool that I don't want to be in. But it all makes sense. And then the last thing here, and we'll get into some charts, is obviously a lot of more ETH is being staked on the network, but we're not really seeing huge spikes in DeFi right now. But this is kind of like divergence, right? A lot of money's flowing into ETH and staking. DeFi is kind of continuing to drop. When we look at this chart here, we could actually look at total DeFi. Let's see, total. Let's go crypto.
Here we go.
I have that thing on stocks. And we could actually see, we could actually chart, let's just remove all this stuff, the DeFi market cap, right? So we look at where price is kind of at. We had this low come in, so high, low. Price really failed to break and then dropped. Now it's created, right, a little bit of a lower high here, and it kind of looks like Bitcoin and stuff. Is price going to hold and take out this money? Now, when you look at this chart, I don't know if you guys were here for this first DeFi run, but I mean, this thing went 11 billion to 150 billion in less than a year. And then it continued to go higher. This is the DeFi market cap. So this is the run you saw Uniswap go from 2 to 50 and Chainlink go to like what, 30 or 40, 50 bucks, whatever, 54 bucks or whatever it went to. Like all those projects went crazy. And now price is back down. And if we see here, we look at a retracement level from this low to this high, this low to this high, came back 80%. Even if this dips one more time, this is a very, very good chart to look at if you're looking at DeFi projects. Now, my favorite chart for altcoins in general, because I don't like to just put DeFi in its own thing. Crypto's not big enough to do that right now. Is this chart right here, which is the market cap that takes out Bitcoin and ETH, because you could argue that ETH is extremely major at this point. Yeah. Whatever.
It's hard to keep calling ETH like an altcoin. Like it just it's such a staple now. It's like
exactly. So that's why I like this one a little bit better. And you can see here, like same thing, low. Now price did break structure here on what is this? This is the weekly chart. Price took out these equal highs and now it's pulled back, creating equal highs here. So this is my accumulation really for altcoins in this area to slowly start to DCA. Mm-hmm. And if we get a bounce here, this could be really nice. And even if it's a bounce and then price comes back, we will obviously take some profits on or exit as we're going up. And that's what makes me kind of believe, things like Sol. How many of you guys caught the entry 2 that I called out on Sol here? Let's go leverage. This was for a leverage position. Sol, we called this out on Friday. $20.08. It's still in the zone, so you still have some time here. But we were able to grab, if you missed it here, price came back here, shot up about 50 pips. And it's okay if you're in this zone right now. Let me know in the chat if you're able to catch this educational idea. But now price is hanging out. So this is going to be really key if we can break this $20.80. And we'll look to reduce risk as price is approaching this high. And these are our exits here. Now, we look at Bitcoin, and I know we have an idea right now. Danny called out on BTC that's actually in the zone. So this is an active idea. Let's take a look, 25.6 and 26.1. So this is in the zone. I sent this out in my Pip Talk as well. Hopefully you guys are in there, where we had equal lows taken out. price came, broke structure, pulled back, and is now creating lower highs. So we need this to really turn up here and make a move, because if this fails and doesn't break this high, this could easily come right back down. So very, very important for Bitcoin. I do like this level, even where price is kind of currently at. This is a very nice zone for a bullish idea. If you choose to, yeah, I'll put that in the chat. Give me a second. If you choose to take this zone, and then risk, we're really playing under this wick. So we talk about risk to reward. If you're new here, please make sure you go through our favorite sessions after this call. But we look at risk to reward in every single idea. So if we take an idea off this blue line right now, I'm targeting the top of this move off the 4 hour, right? This is where the whole move started before everything collapsed. So we would have about a 1 to 5. Now, if we go a little bit closer and use potential entry 2, a 1 to 7. And if price makes its way back down there, with that risk under that wick, we would have about a 1 to 17. Okay, very, very key. Now you understand this risk to reward, and whatever's in your account, you're risking the same amount per idea. So it's 2% every idea, 1% every idea, not 1% today, 6% tomorrow of risk. You're never going to win in this game in leverage, futures or leverage, MT4. So very key. But yeah, Bitcoin is active. Sol is active. If you caught this, great. If not, we're in the zone here, so you can look to leverage ideas. Look at the leverage idea anywhere in that zone. And then you mentioned Dot. Dot is just chilling. Dot, I think, it's our latest exchange idea. A couple weeks ago, and it's kind of just hanging out. Let's go to the higher time frames here. Less noise, and it kind of looks similar to that altcoin chart. Just kind of sitting in here.
Yep.
What does it want to do? Great position here if we can catch this to reduce some risk, take some, get some stuff out the market. And you guys wanted me to put in the chat. Let me send this out.
Like, that's one of the beautiful things about a lot of these altcoin projects when you're building a portfolio. Just being able to get them at these extreme lows. And I need you guys to really think about the timing that we're in right now. This isn't the winter of crypto. This isn't the, oh my gosh, the bear market has just begun. It's not any of that, right? We're definitely in a position right now where, yes, we may see another dip down again, but I'm not seeing a 4 or 5 dip move coming. That doesn't even make any sense right now when you think about the narrative of crypto and where we are right now, and then just let alone the demand of Bitcoin and then the supply about to be lessened within a few months. Like, it's just you're seeing a little bit of poise being put on both sides, right? Like, you got massive adoption, you got tons of good news. Everybody's looking to get in a stable coin. Everybody's looking to hurry up and trying to find a way to get capital so they can buy up what they can and get into the space. But then on the back end, you got people saying, I want to wait for the best low. I want to wait for the best. Like, I think there's tons of capital on the sideline waiting, but everybody's trying to do that thing where they just want to get the best entry possible. And no one's really thinking about the dollar cost averaging side of things and just putting a little skin in the game. A little skin. It doesn't take a lot, but we got this weird greed thing that we're wired to, which is weird because, like, human beings and greed, right? Like, we want to just get the very best, and I want to squeeze every bit of juice out of it. And I'm like, yeah, but why? Why put the unnecessary pressure on yourself when dollar cost averaging could just keep you in the game? And now you scratch that itch regardless, right? You're in, you're not, blowing everything on one setup. And now as it starts to grow and take off, you're cool. And if it doesn't just start growing and taking off, now you're just saying, well, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. I got more capital on the side. If we dip again, I'll just buy a little bit more next weekend. I'll just buy a little bit more weekend after that. I'll get in again. Like, you have the option to keep just putting a little more in. And then when we finally do start seeing a break and higher lows and higher highs, now the actual scaling in of 1%, 2% starts to work out that way. But it's just two totally separate ideologies. One is for your building your portfolio with dollar cost averaging and growing it that way. The other side is taking advantage of leverage and portfolio when we're seeing that trending momentum, higher lows, higher highs, and you attack it that way. Don't try to compare the two and think they're the same thing. Like they're just not, right? Dollar cost averaging is a way for you to consistently take advantage of the conditions, regardless of structure and, you know, good news and all that kind of stuff. You're allowing yourself to be a part of the market and be able to benefit once those rallies happen, as opposed to putting that pressure on yourself and just saying, I got to get the best entry every single solitary. Like, no, it's unmanned. It's unsustainable trying to find every single solitary low as the next big major low. It's crazy.
And you're going to get some gray hairs and get stressed for no reason.
Listen, when I take this hat off, I look like Morgan Freeman underneath here, man. It's just great all the way to the back.
We might have to send you to acting school if that's true.
Listen, I've been working on it. I feel like I've watched Shawshank Redemption enough times. I'm like, they were the best of times and they were the worst of times. Like I'm working on my Morgan Freeman. I'm getting it together. Just give me some time.
If Kirk goes on vacation for 2 months, we all know where he went. Went to Hollywood. He went to LA. I'm not gonna talk about LA, but anyways, so like we look at like Compound, for example. Like this was on Swipe Coin Exchange IDs. We came down to $23, right? Crazy. This was all of our DCA zone. We broke structure here. See how this point is higher than this point? Now it's coming right back down to the zone. I mean, you could start the DCA process even at $40 and say, okay, at 40 and at 20, I'm going to buy an equivalent amount and buy the same amount. And if I could average in at 30, and this comes not even back to the all-time high. The all-time high was 1,000. We don't even need that, to be honest. If we come to $130, OMG, that is a great idea. And you choose that zone. It's kind of like what XRP, and I know XRP has taught me more about myself than anything. You know, this I just can't wait until we're just not where it's at now. But even like this previous consolidation down here before we had a run. I mean, you literally had, and it even kind of hurts to say, you literally had, how long was this under 40 cents for?
Dude.
40 cents and under. This was, I mean, almost 300 days. This was trading 40 cents and under from last year's summer to this year, beginning of summer.
And we all knew that court case wasn't going to be forever. We all knew it was going to rally. Like, it was not a, what if it never comes back? We all knew. Like, XRP never left the top 10 at any point. If I'm not mistaken, it was like, it stayed like top 8.
Yeah, always.
Yeah, like, so to see it rally was like, I don't want to say duh, but it's kind of like, what did you think was going to happen? Like, they didn't have anything. The entire court case, nothing was proven. So when it rallied, I'm like, and even now, I still feel like the rally was, okay, I'm going to say this, and bro, like, don't take it the wrong way. The rally could have been way worse if there were more on-ramps, put it that way. That's all I'm going to say. It could have been, XRP could have been at $2 just off that court case ending. Put it that way. And
now, think about this though. Now, everybody's expectation, right, was they win and this thing goes crazy.
Yep.
Okay, it did double. I mean, that's pretty nice if you took some exits, but that was an expectation. Now it's down, and now people are like, you know what? They're getting tired. They're getting bored. Yep. They're tired of not being rich, right? That's what they're looking at their account like, why is this not higher? And then they sell now. They get out the market right now as it's going down. And then the real rally begins. And I think XRP can get to $1 before Bitcoin gets to 40.
I agree. So, I like that analogy, live while you live. He says XRP is like the Aquaman of crypto. It's a superhero, but it's like because it's only like Aquaman's only strong in the water, but it's like XRP strong in the banking area. So it's like you get him in this area and it's game on. But it's like right now, it's just I feel like right now we're just at a standpoint where XRP has showed its mettle. It showed its resiliency. It showed its community is here to stay. And we just didn't have the on-ramp for the big institutions to come in and blow this thing up. And then I'm hearing rumors, bro, that there's gonna be like side chains now coming up for XRP, like real DeFi side chains.
Yeah, no, that's been in the works for like a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to build it on XRPL, right?
I believe so. There's going to be like a whole big thing where all the stuff we've been hearing about is like they've had the plumbing and the on rails and all that kind of stuff being built out, the structure and the base of it all being built out. But now with the court case ending, they're like pushing forward, but they want to wait until they get regulation so they can really promote stuff. And I'm like, that would be crazy.
Let me see if I can find this real quick.
Yeah, man.
There's a list of these tokens because XRP is always doing like airdrops and stuff.
Yeah.
There's banging. There's people on the top of my house again. They got to get the heck out of here, right?
They're just getting everything ready for Santa. Trust me. You've been great this year, so they got to make a bigger chimney for you, Mike. He's gonna bring a whole flat screen TV and probably just bring a Maserati through the chimney for you. And
oh man. Okay, I think I found it here.
You got to bring a chimney to bring a ledger for you.
Okay, cool. Let me slide this here. So yeah, these are like all the tokens that are built on, and we'll do a more deep dive in this as this ecosystem gets bigger. But these are all XRPL tokens.
Mm-hmm.
So like Sologenic was that airdrop that they airdropped for free. I think all of these were airdrops. Look at this disclaimer for any financial decisions, consult with a qualified professional for sure. This is a project I have been watching. Corium. I don't know too many other ones. I know Sologenic, which is actually a pretty cool. I think Flare as well.
Yeah.
Sologenic is actually like the DEX. This is a decentralized exchange, I believe, for. This is built on XRPL. They have tokenization, decentralized apps. Yep, here you go. 400,000. They actually have NFTs on this as well. Start trading, dude. Actually, take a look at this. This is actually a pretty cool interface, a UI experience here. And you could actually, I think you could leverage trade XRP. You got to put XRP in a wallet, connect it with your Solo Dex or Ledger, and then you could actually, trade inside their platform.
You see what I'm saying? Like all this stuff has already been built out, just ready to roll. Like the moment they start promoting this stuff and making commercials for this stuff and really getting it, all it takes is them promoting this stuff with a couple of, content creators on YouTube and putting some commercials out. I wouldn't be surprised to see XRP on the side of like a stadium or something soon.
Yeah, no, there's some other, Crypto.com. There's some questionable companies. This is cool. I don't know if this is Core DAO. I don't know if that's the same thing.
And Flare's been out for a while after the airdrop.
Yeah, Flare actually held. I think Flare actually held pretty well. It's almost top 100.
Yeah.
The issue is this, like tokenomics, obviously not the best, but Flare, the all-time high was 15 cents. It actually just hit the all-time low. This actually is not super risky play here. Not a terrible play though. There's worse out there than Flare. Connect everything. Yeah, we'll do a session, guys. How many of you guys want us to do a session just on XRPL and all of the projects that are being built on that? We need you to go to the send feedback button, and after the session, let us know, because that's how we're judging things. The chat, anybody can post in the chat. You got to go a little deeper. The only thing with XRP, so back to the chart here, before we wrap this up here soon, is this level needs to hold. 32 to 40 needs to hold, but I am worried that we come down and we take out these lows right here, and that could be bad. XRP could come back into the 20s if it wants to sweep this liquidity. And if Bitcoin falls, then I think that could be a potential, even if it's fast and then it runs. Just keep that in mind. This is it's a higher time frame. This is a very, very key level. We did have this kind of like trend line get taken out. This level of liquidity get taken out with this wick. We need to push up from here. If not, I think this will fall and maybe come down to sweep these lows. God forbid, 32 cents. So that's really it on my side. These are the next 4 exchange ideas that I'm looking at. I am looking at Matic. This is going to be a key level. I mean, Matic even at 55 is not terrible. Would like to see 50 cents flat. I am looking at Sol for an exchange idea. Even at 20, it's fine. 18, I mean 20, 15. It's pretty much valid now. Sol. I am looking for sand. I want to get sand really, 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 really low. If not, I really don't care. I'm really looking for this like in the low 20s, if not under 20.
How are you still feeling about Avalanche?
I actually haven't looked at the chart in a while. Yeah, I'd like to get this at 0.
Just because it had a huge X already on it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm done with it.
I mean, I think I told myself, like super risky play.
Yeah.
Come take this money here. It's just, I mean, it is building liquidity. What is the market cap of Avalanche? Is it still top 100? Avalanche is 20, dude. I sometimes think that Avalanche is like a low cap project.
Nah, bro, it stood still throughout the bear market. It held, it did what it needed to do. I'm just not a big fan of it. I just feel like there's not enough. I would say there's not enough for me when it comes to like network effect, where I see the demand being crazy, outrageous. I get they got people touting it as this and that, and Sergei Nazarov and everybody else. It's just something about Avalanche. I need to see a little bit more. That's all. I just need to see a little bit more. If it can really show improve this next run and do something innovative, I would be excited about it. But right now, it just seems like it's too much of a mid-tier DeFi. You know, like nothing stands out about it for me to say, oh, you guys are really coming into the space and building something unique. Like I would just lean into East DeFi and stay there. Honestly.
Yeah. You know, dude, how is it 3.6 billion in Avalanche right now? What is it around? Avalanche is a higher market cap than Uniswap. That's how you know things are just
wacky.
Wow. I mean, if you take out the stable coins, I mean, it's literally almost top 15 because DAI's in front of it, Tether, USDC, BUS. I mean, it is very interesting here. Like stake, yeah. I mean, literally.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's kind of wild. I mean, okay, what would you choose between Phantom and Avalanche as a wild card?
If I'm looking, because Phantom right now hasn't done a ton of innovations either. I was excited about them when they first launched, and I know they had some great partnerships and things like that. But it's just, it's like you have to have something that really stands you out. Like when you look at 1inch, 1inch is one of the top aggregators. You look at Curve, it's like the go-to spot for, you know, stable coins. Like you're getting a certain network effect by dealing with certain protocols. So I'm not feeling like I'm getting a crazy benefit for just participating with Avalanche. Like I get it, but I'm like when I look at OpenSea, right? When I look at Sushi, when I look at, you know, 1inch, Curve, I look at, you know, these different protocols, I'm thinking to myself, these do something very well that nobody else is able to compete with right now. I look at Avalanche, I'm like, what is it that you're doing that no one can compete with? That's my thing.
It's all they have. I mean, they have Aave with some money in it, CBL,
Yeah.
and Benki. I mean, Aave is like Aave's like the club promoter. They'll promote any club.
Yeah.
Like, they'll work with everybody.
They don't care. They're like, yeah, come on in. We're with you guys.
Great project. That is why I'm bullish on Aave. But what is okay? So let's take a look. This is all on-chain data. Avalanche 500 million TVL. Yeah, like this is a red flag. 11,000 in volume. Revenue 24 hours. 10 million in volume. Let's compare that to Phantom. FTM. Phantom's definitely a lot less. Yeah, it's a tenth of it. But okay, look at this. But it has 53 million in traded volume versus 9 million with Avalanche.
Yeah. That's why I think Avalanche is just a couple of hands holding.
It has. I mean, the thing is, I mean, Phantom has no, it has no ecosystem at all. But they have, like, they're built on more.
Yeah, plugins. Yeah, so it's like you're getting more throughput with Phantom as opposed to Avalanche and their smaller ecosystem that's not being utilized as much. So it's like the money's there, it's just sitting there. I mean, maybe it has good yield, maybe it has some partnerships where you stake in or something like that, and it's incentivized that way. But I don't know. Like for me, I can't see myself like rooting it on and not seeing anything that just makes it stand out like head and shoulders above everybody else.
Yep. And the conversation, like me and Carter having, you guys are just kind of listening to, guys, is in every bull market, there are categories and there are sleeper projects, right? That are kind of like floating around and then they go crazy. So we structure our portfolios in a certain way where if we can find some of those sleepers, they can really make up for any losses that you will take, right, in trading or in investing. So we're like, okay, there's obviously a bunch of different layer ones, obviously ETH and Sol, other than Bitcoin, obviously. I mean, XRP is a layer one as well. But then after that, got Cardano, of course. What are we looking at? Like, that's where we're talking about AVAX, Phantom, because they've been here.
Yeah. I thought about this back in the day when we first started looking into getting into DEXs. Kava Network was a DEX. Not Kava. I'm sorry, not Kava. Kyber. That's what I'm talking about. Kyber. Kyber was a competitor to Uniswap. And I was super like, oh man, Kyber's gonna do this, it's gonna do that. It was a top one, it was a top 50 at one point. And it was like, okay, let's go. We're gonna be, we're gonna get a little bit of Kyber network, we're gonna get a little bit of, Uniswap. And when I saw Uniswap launch their token for that airdrop, Kyber died at the same time. Nobody utilized Kyber anymore. Then Kyber switched up and they were a different type of blockchain. They wanted to go into gaming and some other stuff, and I was like, oh yeah, nah, it's not. Yeah, no, we're not doing the same thing I saw happen with Neo. Neo was a competitor to Ethereum. It was like the top, which one's going to be the best layer one solution. And next thing you know, you saw Ethereum just rocket past the competition, and then next thing you know, you see Neo become a gaming token as well. All right, and I keep looking at this stuff, thinking to myself, this is the name of the game. You have to find the lanes, like Mike said, before the bull run hits. One of the reasons why I talked to you guys about Gamma. I think Gamma and Unipilot are going to be projects that most people aren't thinking of, but they're projects that are going to help Dexus, grow and basically start to really expand and become a lot more, utilized, because it allows that decentralized aggregation of funds to work through those networks. It's like Uniswap can only program so much in it to allow the network to stay, efficient. It's going to need help. It's going to need layer two. So I look at how our DEX is going to start to scale when we see things like Ethereum. It needs Polygon, right? It needs those optimisms. It needs those arbitrums, right, for Ethereum to run efficiently. So when I think about Uniswap, I'm like, what's going to help Uniswap? When I think about 1inch, when I think about, these big decentralized exchanges, what's going to help them grow? And I look at these new projects that are popping up that are going to have those little small background jobs that are going to help to build, right, and make them more efficient, right? When Polygon first dropped, nobody paid attention to it. Everybody's like, oh, it's one of those layer two things. Oh, and as I kept reading it, I'm like, bro, Vitalik's excited about this, right? Even Gavin Wood was excited about it. He has nothing to do with Ethereum anymore. And it just started checking off boxes, and I'm like, they got all the checks and balances. They got DeFi working already. They have cheap fees, almost non-existent fees, and they're getting adoption from ETH. And then boom, started to see it go crazy. Same thing with Arbitrum. I kept saying Arbitrum's going to get a token soon. Pay attention to this thing. Big deal, right? Same thing with Optimism. Immutable X, all about NFTs and allowing it to grow. Loopring, building on ramps for real world companies to come into crypto and be able to really thrive. And I'm like, these are projects I've been talking to you guys about for years. And now we're starting to see everybody lean into it. I'm like, this is the name of the game, just getting ahead of the curve by doing the research. I think Flow's great, but Flow right now was kind of like sitting on the sideline waiting to start implementing their token. They don't use their token enough, so the demand for Flow isn't as great as it could be. It's right there. All Flow has to do is say, You have to use the Flow token on the websites. Day one, the moment they say that, it's over. Because you think about UFC Strike, you think about NFL All Day, you think about NBA Top Shot. You have to use USD to get those moments, those NFTs on those networks. The moment they say you have to use your dollar to buy Flow token, it's over. That token could jump out of the gym overnight. It could be the #1 NFT token because they have partnerships with the UFC and the NBA and the NFL. I can't say that about a lot of other companies. That's next level partnerships. So you think about lanes and evolution and progression of spaces. Once NFTs become a little more, mainstream and there's not a big, stigma attached to them, networks like Flow could be the dominant NFT standard because they got all the partnerships. I feel the same way about Omi. Like Ecomi has partnerships with Ninja Turtles and Pokemon and Jurassic Park and DC and Marvel. And I'm like, these are licensing deals with these big these big companies. And you can get into that through crypto with these different companies. I'm like, yeah, you may see Omi and Ecomi down. You may see Flow not having a crazy jump out the gym moment. You got to be patient with stuff like that because once the world catches up to where it is, then you'll start seeing the adoption. But you've been here over time, and now you have that stake saying, I was here when everything launched. So, welcome to the party, everybody else. So you have to have that vision in order to kind of capitalize on these spaces when they're really early like this.
Facts. And I think, this is kind of like personally my sleeper category for the next market, for the next run. Yeah. Could be layer twos. And if I could give you one more, and I'd like to get your opinion on this, I think this derivatives category with future, I think this is this is at $2 billion in market cap. I mean, I think $100 billion could flow into this space so quickly. And that's projects like DYDX, Synthetics, obviously Gains, GMX. All right, GMX has actually performed pretty well in this bear market. I mean, it's only down 60% instead of being down 90% like most altcoins. And, it has greater TVL than market cap. This is built on the Arbitrum network. And this is another decentralized place people can trade derivatives in the future. So take a look at this if you want to do that. And there's a max supply. So $2 billion in that whole category.
I want you to stay right there in that vein, bro, with derivatives. Because can I show something real quick?
Yeah, go for it.
I just want to put a cherry on top of that for 2 seconds, bro, because I feel like we've talked about this a couple of times. And whenever we bring this up, there's always somebody new here who hasn't seen this.
Yeah, show it for sure.
Yeah, this is the world's money supply. And this is old. This is like crypto, like 2 billion, this is already like 5x'd, obviously. But I need you to see how all this aligns. We got money supply, global debt, global real estate. We're talking about 280 trillion making up the global real estate market if it was in a dollar value, right? Global wealth, 360 trillion, right? Just all around the world, Europe, everywhere, right? Derivatives on the low end, 558 trillion. Derivatives, keep that word in mind. Derivatives. On the high end, 1 quadrillion. What's next after derivatives? Nothing. If even a sliver of the low end shows up in derivatives, right? Mike just showed you guys the categories. You come in here, you click categories, you scroll down, and you get down here until you start seeing derivatives. #1, Synthetics Network, DYDX, GMX, Gains Farm, right? Gains Network, UMA. Like, this is the stuff we try to tell you guys about. Like, where is the world's money? Grant Cardone always says, who has my money? Who has my money? This right here is Visual Capitalist. It kind of just gives you a view of what the world's money look like. When I saw this, I was like, this is not a hard argument for me. If a sliver of the derivatives money leaves traditional finance and comes into crypto.
And it is. It's just, it's all happening behind the scenes. It's happening.
It has to find a home. You guys are now gonna be able to see something like this happening. You can be here first right? And I like Injector Protocol because it's a competitor to Synthetics, right? And the Injector's probably down here somewhere, but it's
I don't
just,
think they have it labeled on this one.
if
The
anything,
Injective is the top project.
yeah, I'm tripping. I'm like, usually it's like right in here, but I don't know what happened.
Maybe they don't categorize it as
yes, they might have
derivative.
changed it up to something else now. They probably just put it in the DeFi category now, if anything. But I know it definitely is still involved with the derivative side. But just seeing these top few projects, these are coins and networks we talk about frequently, right? Like you got to get ahead of it and see the vision of where the money will show up from. Every time I come over here, when I'm vetting projects, I'm looking at, okay, global wealth, derivatives, and I look at real estate. I keep saying when real estate finally shows up on the blockchain, it's gonna be next level. We haven't even seen a big footprint for real estate on blockchain. When it shows up, over. And the thing is, you're gonna want to know how to navigate these networks so you can get in and out of these projects and know how to move around in here. If you don't know how to move around, you could miss out on one of the biggest wealth transfers, leaving the traditional system, going into blockchain, going into Web3. It's just important to have the information now so you know how to navigate it, guys. Being able to say, "Oh, that was cool, but I didn't know how to capitalize on it," is almost like saying, I never participated in the first place. I might as well ignored all of it because I didn't know what to do when it was time to make the move. Right? Like being here now, getting the information, learning this stuff, knowing how to have a portfolio, knowing how to move coins around the blockchain, knowing how to take advantage of futures, knowing how to take advantage of leverage, non-leverage, keeping your stuff safe. Like all of this stuff, it all goes hand in hand. This is literally step-by-step training that you guys are going to have. Like you're future-proofing yourself as we speak. We won't be exchanging pieces of paper and coins in the next 20 years. If you know change is coming, if you know the wealth transfer is coming, why aren't you preparing for it with a sense of urgency? Right? Like I get it. I love Forex. I love trading, all this other stuff. I love stocks. Like even BlackRock says they want all stocks to be on Web3 platforms. They want to digitize stocks. Like it's coming, whether you like it or not. Get ahead of it.
Yeah, I want to make one last point, and then we're going to wrap this up. Yeah. We got futures in an hour, though. But, for example, Coinbase, U.S. regulated exchange, I want to show you this. They're just got approved to launch a derivatives exchange. Okay, what happens when everybody sees this? They know they don't trust these exchanges. They're definitely not going to trust them for derivatives, or maybe they just don't want to. They're going to look what? DeFi right away. And where are they going to go? Right here. And that's what Kurt and myself were saying. This is massive and it is CFTC regulated and all that stuff. But then, okay, maybe I'll take a look at it, whatever. But in DeFi, you don't have to go through an exchange. Put a 1 in the chat if you're with me here. And what are going to be some of the top projects that maybe we want to be looking at for some of our portfolio? Projects inside of here. And that's why you have DCX and why you're plugged in. And this is why 6, 12, 18 months, you're way ahead of the curve. This was a matter of time before exchanges know there's so much money that wants to come in. Now they're literally here. This is about to launch, I think, any week now. If you have Coinbase, it's already in there. And look, Bitcoin and ETH future contracts to start. But remember, wait, hold on. Isn't the only regulated crypto XRP? Why are they offering Bitcoin and ETH? Because they're going, and they're not going to be regulated maybe per se, but they know that's the future and they know there's going to be a ton of money that comes into this space. It's not that difficult to see this before everybody else does, okay? Now, look, they're also talking about oil, maybe indices.
Yep.
I don't know what this is, Nano, Bitcoin, Nano, Ether, this smaller contract of,
yeah,
this is crazy. This is, I don't know what, somebody got to tell them this is not working. Oh, here. Oh, wow, yeah, literally here. The notional value.
You can trade the sats. They're gonna let you trade the Satoshis inside of the movement.
This is crazy.
So if you don't have a ton of money and you can't be on the institutional side or the accredited investor side, you can trade nanos. Not nanos, but nanos.
Settled index futures increment. Yeah, literally point value, minimum price increment, 50 cents per ether.
Yep.
ETH, is that per one ETH per Ether?
Yep. So you're getting like a tenth of the exposure. So it's going to give you a better exposure to it. So you don't have to have that crazy value and fluctuation in price just demolishing your account.
This is what I want to see. We're gonna have to do a breakdown of this when this thing goes live, so people are educated. Because I wonder if they're gonna make you close the position for the day ends or the weekends. You got to go read all this stuff. Order types, market limit. That's good to know. Market holidays. You probably won't be able to trade on these days. That's fine. Yeah, this
is
is
that one that says time. I was wondering what that one said.
Which one?
It said time and force. Time and force. Yeah.
Requires each order entered in the system to have a time and force, which is a qualifier. Okay, yeah. So, defines how long an order is in effect. This might be more like stock. Is this kind of like stock options where you said, like, I got to be in this trade for one hour and then it needs to be above a certain price? That could be interesting. Orders entered with the qualifier. Yeah, I'm going to go through all this stuff. We'll do a class on this. This is all regulated, so we're going to talk about it. Yeah, if you ain't in crypto, I don't know what you're doing. This is really big. Hold on. What? They're going to offer? They're going to offer indices trading? There's no way. Nano.
Yeah.
U.S. large cap index futures contracts provide an index to track 500.
Yeah.
What the?
S&P 500. They're going to treat, because S&P is like a tech stock. Because most of it's made up of mostly tech stocks. You got the FANGs and all the other stuff in there. It just makes sense. It goes hand to hand because they treat Bitcoin like a tech stock. So it's not like they're losing a lot of skin in the game by offering indices of the S&P 500.
Oh my God, they're doing micro contracts, nano contracts, 0.01 index points, 0.10. This is like, I got to show my dad this because he uses he uses Thinkorswim, and I think this is very similar to that.
That TD Ameritrade.
Yeah, on TD Ameritrade.
Yeah,
dude, oil. This is actually not.
They offer more than just oil. They offer like all the energies, like natural gas and all that kind of stuff too. It'll be over. It'll be over, bro. Like they would dominate.
Dude, Coinbase is actually positioning themselves pretty crazy here. What's their what's this doing? 73. Get a little pushback down to that bottom.
Kathy Wood will buy it up. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'm not. How is Netflix at 400? Oh my God, this was at almost 1,000 during the pandemic. You saw the Nvidia earnings. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, bro.
Dude, they're making so much money.
Bro.
Do you see this? This thing is literally went from 37.
Yeah.
I mean, has this outperformed Bitcoin in the past 4 years? This might have.
Yes.
This might be the only thing that has. Oh my God. And
it's the only company that makes the best graphics cards. And it's like when Bitcoin mining took off, Nvidia jumped as well because a lot of people did GPU miners where they were just building computer rigs to mine crypto. And they do it, period. So like anything mining related is Nvidia. You can't, like, they have all the best patents for when it comes to developing graphics cards. There's no competitor in their lane. It's they're on a gravy train with biscuit wheels right now.
Damn. Well, guys, hope you had a great session. Kurt, appreciate it. We'll see you guys on DCX Futures here in about 45 minutes. Let us know in the comments if you're going to be there. Hit that send feedback button, and then me and Kurt will be back on Wednesday with you guys together before so see you guys in Croatia. Hopefully you're coming. See you guys on Futures in 45 minutes. Much love.
Let's go. All right, fam. Appreciate you guys popping in with us, getting some value, chilling out with your boys. So listen, we got Futures popping up in like another 45 minutes, and I'm gonna be back on with you guys later on this evening with our mindset call. You know how we do with our mindset call. Mindset Monday is always lit. Definitely looking forward to that. And yeah, so what does your shirt say? It says a bunch of stuff on the front. It's got Joe Rogan here at the top. It's got a bunch of stuff here. It's got a bunch of companies on that side. Companies on that side. The back has Bitcoin Cash somewhere on there with my name across the top. It's the whole thing. It was a gift. It was a whole thing. When you do events and stuff, they give you swag. So it's like a whole thing. Yeah, Bitcoin Cash across the front. I'm not a Bitcoin Cash fan, so just know. It's a thing. But no, it's the whole thing. So, yes. See here. The chain is fire. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. It's like a Cuban link with the Wakanda Black Panther stuff on there. So yeah, I thought it was dope. I was like, oh, that's fire. That's fire. So I'm always, I have to be in the mirror like this whenever I put it on. All right, family. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys later on this evening at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard. Do not miss Futures Call. Definitely want to see you guys there. Got to get an Arsenal. I do. I got to step my football jerseys up. I definitely got to get better at it. All I got right now is like Portugal. I think I got like one Ronaldo jersey. I think I might have a Messi. I don't know. I think I do. But yeah, I appreciate you guys. I'll catch up with you guys later. And as usual, all right, and as always, stay patient, stay disciplined, and the gains will come. We out. And oh yeah. Good night, everybody. Stay blessed, family. See you guys later on this evening. Let's get this back. Let's go. Futures Call in less than an hour. See you guys over there. Let's get it.